Welcome, everyone. Welcome to and welcome back to Anonnie's Temple. Welcome to the Temple of the High Priestess for the prophecy reading. You can call me Anonnie. I am a tarot reader, a channeler, and intuitive for divine, source, and Christ consciousness energy, for the angels and the archangels, and the cosmic entities and beings of benevolence unto humanity. I'm here to deliver the prophecy reading for you all. I want to jump right in, and I just also want to say thank you to the Divine Source One, creator of all things, divine feminine and divine masculine, for the inheritances of my spiritual, physical, and psychic gifts and wealths, which I welcome in and expand to receive in every which way to the highest and greatest good of my own and to all, and to the harm of none. Ashe. I want to jump in and share that the energy today feels so much more calm. This is even more than calm at the center of a storm. This is the calm after the storm. This is the calm where it's the sunrise after, the morning after, and you're looking out at the pasture to see that there are drops of rain on the leaves, that there's morning dew on the grass. There's a very serene energy that is coming through. And this serenity feels like peace of mind. It feels like temperance energy, where the mind has finally settled on an outcome. There's a lot that I want to share here, but I do wonder how much I can kind of keep for my own self. But the energy today is certainly more serene, more tranquil, and more at ease. As this energy approached me today, I received a reflective question or a reflexive question from my spirit guides, where they had said, there are so many times and so many ways in which I have wished or given prayer or given a wish for or sent out an energetic rocket of desire to live a soft life. And that is the energy that I'm feeling today, that I have entered the timeline of the soft life, where there's no pushing, there's no shoving. Everything finds its way. And so do you, and so do I. When my guides asked me this reflexive question, it was because when I started to feel the entering, like I feel like I walked through a door, literally. When I started to feel that energy, I questioned, like, wait, isn't there something I'm supposed to be getting done? Don't I need to create something? Don't I need to produce? Don't I need to be in a state of action? And so they responded and they said, didn't you ask for the soft life? Isn't this what you would like? And the answer is ultimately, of course, the answer is yes. And now I'm allowing my nervous system and my mind and the hyperactivity in some ways to also receive and to expand to hold this, yes, I am ready for the soft life. So I feel here that the space is open now, or in some ways the space is cleared. The space has been cleared for this soft energy to occupy it. In ways, they're also showing me here too that this makes softness a priority. They're telling me that in some ways, and maybe this resonates for you too. They're telling me in some ways it's as though I was hardened, stiff, uncomfortable, competitive in some ways, harsh, and then also wishing and saying, oh, but I'm in my soft life era. And those two experiences were incredibly incongruent, they're telling me. Because I was still, in some ways, rubbing two rocks together to create electricity. instead of in some ways tapping into how the flow of water against rock can also produce electricity. I feel here like I have accepted a pathway. And so, if this message resonates for you thus far, I think you have as well, as we are fractals of each other. So let's see what the cards would like to share on this day. Thank you all for joining me at the Temple of the High Priestess, and we're going to tap in. I'm going to ring the bell. Oh, you see my yoga wheel over here? Welcome all. Welcome to the Temple of the High Priestess. Thank you, Divine Creator, for the messages that I receive on this day. Divine Source One Creator, I receive your messages with clarity. I deliver them with integrity, and I feel them with love. Let's begin. I'm hearing chastity. Chastity. I feel that there is an intentional purging and an intentional purification process that you're allowing to also take up space. And they're showing me here that after the warfare, you must intentionally heal. And this intentional healing cannot necessarily be done on the battlefield. Like, this intentional healing needs to come in its own respective place, in its own respective area of safety. So they're showing me here that you are now creating an area of safety for your healing. I guess I can also say a boundary. But even boundary in some ways can delineate friction. I see you releasing boundaries and now being able to see what to allow in. Instead of there being a boundary in some ways, it's actually like there's an energetic threshold so that you do not actually need to maintain any mental space or put forth any mental friction or any mental energy to say, this is a boundary, don't pass it, this is a boundary. Instead, I'm seeing in some ways like a feminine energy based and how do I say this, Divine? Because they're showing me in some ways like a telepathic boundary, but again, boundary is not the right word. In some ways, it's almost like you can only pass through when you have a particular energetic state about your own self. I don't need to maintain the boundary. It's very receptive. Okay, we have the Moon and Nine of Cups. They're even showing me the receptivity to surrender in some ways to what it is that you want. I feel here it's as though you were in some type of stream of water and you had maybe a hunting pole and you've been trying to catch a bunch of fish on this hunting pole, but they kept squirming away. And I feel here instead you have decided to throw away the pole. Now you're laying in the stream. And then in some ways, it's as though a fish arrives in your hand. It's much easier for you to catch these fish when you become one with the water, instead of standing as a boulder in the water with a pike trying to catch the fish through action. Is that called fly fishing? They're also showing me something about fly fishing, okay? You have the Nine of Swords and the Magician. That's peculiar and that's interesting. It's as though you have been creating your own sense of anxiety. Let me give this just a little bit more time to settle in. It's interesting. It's as though there's been a mirror that has been held up to you. You know how sometimes they say the final boss is you, so to speak? It's as though this mirror was for you to see where you had to overcome your own self. And I think that when I say overcome, it immediately would burn within you, or it would bring up within you this fire energy to persevere. And as long as that mirrored reality kept reflecting back to you the need to persevere, you would continuously reinforce needing to persevere. I see here now it's like this mirrored reality is instead, they're saying in some ways to me like peaches and cream. Let's see. I feel here that they're also showing me a masculine energy who is eating some type of ice cream that is flavored as peaches and cream. I think that this is your divine counterpart here. Yeah, we have the sun. Thank you. They're telling me that there is space that is cleared now for someone to actually come in and help you. Instead, it seemed like there was just this brief bit of energetic friction between you being so familiar with creating, doing, action, like taking, not necessarily. How do I say this? It's as though like every single day you were waking up ready to dominate. When what you are truly wishing for with the moon and the 9 of cups is not to necessarily dominate, but to flow with and to also receive. So there's a mismatch in what your deepest, what your heart's desire. And I'm also, excuse me, I'm also hearing what your future self is calling you to release into. There was friction behind how you were actually living your day to day versus what your heart was calling out for you to release into. And they're also showing me here that there was fear, that there's an intrinsic fear that is transmuted now. Whereas if you aren't resilient, or if you aren't trying to forcefully wake up and how do I say, etch at the stone every day, like to take your tools and to etch at the stone every day, there was this fear that perhaps then the monument wouldn't be created if you're not the one who is taking up the hammer and the etching tools and carving it yourself every day. I feel here it's almost like now you are the muse, and others will begin to etch away at the monument to help you, or to help it be surrected. Is that the word? No, not necessarily resurrected, but erected, so to speak, to help you put the monument up. Okay. There's something here like the person the person you've been asking to come in to help you couldn't come in when you weren't thinking about anyone who could actually help you, or when you were in the mindset of you are so good at helping yourself. Okay? Yeah, Knight of Cups, that is help. It's people who care about you, people who are offering from a space of being truly genuine. And I feel here like you had to actually let it sink in that this is real and true for you, like this can happen for you. And I even feel here like there's a transcendence surrounding the identity that you can do it all on your own. And when I say transcendence, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing that you felt. I feel like this resilient mindset of how you can do so much on your own, and how you're maybe in like a jack of all trades. You're good at so many things. You're a maverick, right? I feel like you're transcending that to recognize that you're not the only maverick. You're not the only genius. You're not the only creative scholar, right? So I feel here when I say that you're transcending it, I feel like you are integrating all of the time that you have spent feeling like a lone wolf, even how you have used this to motivate yourself to be your highest, greatest good. So really this is, if you want to say a level up, that's okay, but really this is like, now here's a new layer to who you are. Now who are you? And I feel here like you are seeing yourself in a more comfortable stance in feeling like the universe truly supports you. Because they're showing me here that even in that lone wolf narrative, again, not even that it's a bad thing. Do you know how much lone wolves can accomplish? Do you know how much lone wolves can introspect and learn about themselves and learn about reality and shift and change and create, right? Because they're creating their own star power, so to speak. I feel here like they are sharing that even in that narrative, even if it's like less than 5% or 1%, whatever it is, sometimes lone wolf energy can lend itself to distrust in the universe. That you must go at it alone. And so I feel here like you have overcome that 5%. You have transcended that 1%. Because when you trust that the universe can truly flow for you and bring unto you and bring for you and to support your desires, that also includes other people, that includes other incarnates who are just like you. Okay? Yeah, it's interesting. They keep bringing up like I can do battle by myself, which is a good thing. But then it's like if that's the mindset that you are in, then the universe is hearing by myself, right? Oh, they want me to change the deck. Okay. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Divine. I think this is going to be a shorter message. The Moon and Justice. They're letting you know that this is actually what you've truly wanted. So maybe it seemed to you as though like you were trying to work so hard to accomplish anything or that you really wanted to reach some type of definition of success. But they're showing you here that there was actually a bit more to it than what you were allowing yourself to configure. The Moon and Justice here. There was actually a deeper desire, something deeper in the unconscious that you really wanted to bring forth and to manifest into your physical reality. For you to feel like things are fair, for you to feel well and balanced. I feel here like you have actually honored some type of undercurrent of psychological distress. Like you have honored some undercurrent of psychological distress. And because you've decided to give it space, now there's this clearance for the solution and the treatment of it, or so to speak, the healing of it to come through. Okay, where shall we take this message, Line Creator? Thank you. I'm hearing, yeah, my dress, of course, but I'm hearing, and it was all yellow. Ace of Wands. Dare I show you that the Ace of Wands came out in this deck? It's at the bottom of the Macabre deck, and the Ace of Wands is also at the bottom of the Dragon Tarot. I am feeling here like I heard crucifixion, and I don't know why. Okay. Risen after 3 days. Isn't that what happens? Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. Like God rose, or God or Jesus rose, or Christ rose after 3 days. Something like that here. Okay. I feel here like what you had in your mind was a particular sequence because you knew the outcome that you wanted. And so from that outcome, I feel like you intentionally worked backwards, so to speak, so that you could get to the point where you're at now, or where you were at before this mindset shift, and say, okay, because I want to get over there, I'm going to do this first phase, and I'm going to do the second phase here, and then the third phase here. And then, of course, then the outcome will arrive. And I feel here like there's something like you've taken a shortcut because your grip has loosened. 3 Ace of Wands here is very powerful, creative force energy. And I feel here it's almost like you, give me some time here. It's more than a shortcut. It's almost like you have collapsed a type of energy so that it arrives that much sooner. Like you have collapsed a physicality, you have collapsed fire energy in some way so that it reaches you in an instant. It's like you have collapsed a flame into lightning and then it hits you immediately. Whereas instead they're showing me, it's like when you were looking for the lightning, you would get in a car and then you would have to like travel to some town where there's supposed to be a storm. And then you had to wait out the storm and then you had to find an open field to look for the lightning. It's like you were taking the longer route. And this shift brings in immediacy. Quicker than what you were able to kind of configure in your mind. Ace of Rods, thank you. 2 of Pentacles on the fence, is that what you want? Okay. Ace of Rods, 7 of Wands. 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. It's really interesting here, like actually juggling so much was starting to work against you. It was working against you because people, and I know people is very like general, but it was working against you because people were seeing how you were doing so much. And it's almost like they were trying to steal slices of bread off the table when you weren't looking. It has that type of energy to it. Like, so let's say that you made like 6, 7, 8 loaves of bread and you sit them all out on the table. And then you're like, okay, like you're looking to cut one slice of bread or something, or one slice from a loaf. And while you're focusing on slicing this loaf over here, someone was back over here looking at this loaf that you weren't paying attention to. And then they cut off their own slice from it. So I feel here like instead of baking 8 loaves at once, now you have 3. And because you have these 3 loaves of bread, there's a lot of like also like Christian symbolism here with like eating the body of Christ, like something like this, okay? Like putting bread on the table. So now instead of there being 8 loaves because there was a scarcity mindset that you didn't know how much you were going to be able to eat, so you made 8 loaves of bread. Now you're going to be able to focus on 3 loaves and you'll be able to have them as keepsakes and to take care of them, so to speak, and to really allow them to feed you plenty. I hope this makes sense. That's what they're showing me here. It's like the difference, you know what this is interesting that they're showing me? It's like the difference between people who are in poverty going to an all-you-can-eat buffet versus the mindset shift of people who have plenty of financial support, plenty of access, like access is easy to them. So they don't go to all-you-can-eat buffets because that's their everyday experience. They're already grounded in the experience of knowing that they can eat as much as they want or as little as they want, whatever it is that they want. So the marketing of an all-you-can-eat buffet doesn't really apply to them. I hope this makes sense. Like this video if you're picking up the vibe. It's like that type of marketing actually doesn't appeal to people who are financially wealthy because that's already their general experience. So why do they need to go to an all-you-can-eat buffet? Okay. 6 of Rods. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for liking the video, y'all. Yeah, Seven of Cups, all you can eat buffet. Isn't that interesting? Show me Seven of Cups, please. Thank you. Seven of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Death card reversed with the Five of Coins reversed as I'm talking about buffets and poverty. I feel here like what you've actually decided to do is to not choose something. And I feel here like that's what actually made all of the difference here in a mindset shift. You know how I just want to show this again. Three aces of wands. These are your three loaves of bread here. Okay? For you being well fed, this is like financial liberation, emotional liberation, like love coming into your life, like creative liberation. These are your three loaves of bread that you have here. And I feel like the mindset shift, temperance, what brought in the tranquility was for you to actually look at that loaf of bread that was all the way back there and say, you know what? No, that's not for me. Five of Coins reversed and Death card reversed is giving me like when we have the Seven of Cups, sometimes it's just as important what it is that we do choose versus what we decide no longer to choose. When we're saying like, you know what, I feel like this is no longer serving me. I feel here there's been a shift because you actually decided to leave something behind and say, you know what, maybe that's not exactly. It's like you were sitting there rubbing that lamp and you're like, you know what, whatever is in that lamp, I actually don't think that that's what I want. And that's an incredibly powerful position to be in. Seven of Wands. Okay, show me a bit more, please. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Source. This is so interesting. Look at how this fell out. One wand, two wand, three wands, Four of Wands. They're telling me here, like, I don't think that maybe it really sunk in. But you know, I feel like there's no shame here though. Like what they're showing me is there was a point of time where you were somewhat stuck or at an impasse because there were so many options available to you. And I feel here like instead of choosing the specific options or choosing what your lane was, you decided to kind of give each option a little bit of you. And now I feel like you have rubbed three lamps. Those three wishes are being granted for you amongst the others, amongst the other amongst the other wishes that come with these wishes that you're making. And now with the Four of Wands here, it's like the space has been cleared. Now there's stability. And now there's a celebration. I feel here the guides were kind of saying there was no wrong choice, but I think that you were kind of afraid that maybe you were going to rub the wrong lamp, or maybe you were going to leave behind the sourdough recipe that wasn't bringing any money into your business, so to speak. And now instead of that sourdough recipe, it's like you're doing something completely new with like sugarcane and lavender and honey-based loaves of bread. Okay. Now there's a relationship that is here. A lot of Wands energy. Good news. The Magician. Good news. Very much so. Ace of Cups. They're telling me I can leave the message here. Nine of Wands, the Empress, Two of Swords. This is the feminine being represented as working too hard. And it's in some ways, it's like working. People were watching this too. It's like working so hard, but like not actually deciding on anything. Okay. This is like they're showing me you worked so hard with the 9 of Wands here and the 2 of Swords. It's like you have this reservoir that is full of cosmic force energy to bring in abundance. And they're literally showing me a vat. You know, like a vat that is filled with liquid. It's like this vat that's filled with gold liquid. And it was literally overflowing, like overpouring. And that's why there are these people watching, taking little slices of bread off of your loaves because they saw the overflow. Now I feel here it's like you are looking at those vats, opening them up, and like giving them a sense of direction to flow in. Okay. I feel like I can kind of end the message here with the Magician and Ace of Cups. Now get ready because what is coming into you is truly what you desire. Let's see if we can get a read on anything else that may be coming in for you. We have the Ace of Swords, even at the bottom of the Macabre deck as well. So there are 3 things here. Can you show us what these 3 Ace of Wands represent, Most High? 3 of Wands. look at the cheekiness. I said, can you tell me what those 3 wands represent? And then they send me 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is the expectation energy. This is like you'll have to wait and see. But it's there. I feel like they're literally saying like you're not waiting anymore. The 3 of Wands is like, watch, it's coming in. 4 of Swords, relax. Is that it? Queen of Swords. 7 of Pentacles. They said that if they want me, Page of Swords again, they're saying if they want me to channel more, they actually want to talk about this energy over here. The Empress, 2 of Swords, and 9 of Wands, where you had to learn this lesson. It's like you were calling to be the Empress while enacting like you're the Emperor. And perhaps vice versa for some of the energies here. So you weren't even leaving any room for you to feel like the Empress because every single waking second, your mind was on action, action, do, create, like that. Okay. So show me what it is that you would like to share, Macabre deck. What would you like to share, Macabre deck? Thank you. The Lovers. There's a partner here. It's like there's finally room for this person to show up because you're not trying to control everything. The Lovers, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. And the King of Pentacles. Look who's coming through to talk to you. This is your partner. Knight of Wands. Yes, he is. This is a sexual partner. This is a romantic interest in a sexual partner here. Okay. It's very interesting. They're showing me here. It's like, excuse this squeaky chair. Squeaky, squeaky, squeakum. Queen of Cups here. King of Wands. Yeah, he's taking action. Okay. They're showing me here. It's like some of the boundaries that you had before as this Empress energy, Empress 9 of Wands that came out with the 2 of Swords. Some of those boundaries were like, look, don't touch. Stay over there. You can admire from over there, but don't touch. Don't come into the garden. Don't bother me over here. It's like you were on your momentum. You were on your boss bitch shit. Like you were like doing all of that incredible stuff. So I feel here like what has actually also accumulated in that vat of golden energy is like all of these admirers who didn't know the approach or they didn't know if they could approach the Meadowland and they weren't sure you already look so busy and is there anything that they could actually add to your life? That's the thing. It's not necessarily, they want me to say this in a particular way. Some of these masculine energies wanted to approach you, but they didn't know where they could even be of any use to you, because you gave this appearance of you can do it all on your own. So I see here, it's not necessarily that now you can't do it on your own. You still can. You still have that capacity, and that has been honored and witnessed by these masculine energies. But there's something different now where you are inviting. It's almost like, some of these masculines want you to call them and say like, "Hey, can you fix this? Can you come over and help me with this?" It's kind of like that. Like there's this masculine in particular, this King of Pentacles. I think that the love language that he feels comfortable giving to people is acts of service. So like in some ways, like it's almost like maybe you've been asking for like a sugar daddy, so to speak, or just like a man who is incredibly generous. How can he be generous when there's nothing that you're asking him to help you with? Right? So it's like if you are looking for a partner who is generous and wealthy, so to speak, like this King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles lover, then you actually had to show that you were in need of his wealth, so to speak. Okay, that you actually needed some of maybe his business advice, that there was something that he was adding of value to your life. Now, for some reason, he feels this way. Now he sees his role that he can play in your life. Now this timeline is open. 8 of Wands, and he's coming in to talk to you, to work with you. He could want you to travel with him. You may, Death, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, 8 of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Emperor. You know what's interesting here? They're telling me that this King of Pentacles wasn't sure of how to approach you, because what he wanted to approach you with would have meant that you had to leave something else behind, or that you would have had to put something else on pause. And he wasn't sure about like the ethics or the morality of asking you to do something like that. So I feel here with this Ace of Pentacles, it's like he could have this incredible offering that he wants to give to you. But if you're sitting over there by the poolside and everything seems like you're doing hunky-dory and you're okay, he's kind of wondering like, okay, well then what would this Ace of Pentacles really do for them? Show me a bit more King of Pentacles. 2 of Wands. Yeah, the pathway's open. The road is open. This man is going to ask for you. 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 3 of Cups, and the message. I'll get to that. This man is going to ask you to join him on some type of adventure. He is also going to ask, that adventure could be physical. It could be traveling. But I also feel, I just saw somebody shake their head on the television set. Okay. But I also feel here that this type of like adventure is something that is new to you. It's even in some ways like maybe this person saw you as a bit necessarily rigid, but a person with a plan. And they didn't want to come in and upend that plan when it seemed like it was so comfortable for you. Okay. Show me a bit more King of Pentacles. They're telling me to ask this. King of Pentacles. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. That's what I'm saying. King of Pentacles. What are you now seeing in the Divine Feminine? What are you seeing in this shift in the Divine Feminine? I think you will wear a purple dress when you meet this person. King of Wands. Interesting. Show me. What are you seeing now in the Divine Feminine? Oh. King of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. That's exactly what I'm sharing, that you're willing to accept help from him. It's interesting. It's almost like this person was kind of expecting for you to talk back to them, or just, how do I say this? Like, I don't know if this person thought they don't even think that you're disagreeable. It's really like they really admire you, and they were just wondering how they could possibly give to you to show you how much they care. And now you're seeing more receptive to a masculine caretaking energy, because it came across like you were imagining like, oh, I can take care of myself, and I want to do this by myself, and I want to do that on my own and stuff like that. And it's not that you can't be independent, but now I feel like this is someone who is also funding you and supporting your independence. Ace of Swords, Page of Wands. The devil was really doing a number on you, because it was like, give me a second here to get this Eight of Swords and the devil energy. It's like this, it's not, how do I say this? It is like a hyper resilience, or like a hyper vigilance. And I think for some time you were taking pride in being able to always find solutions for circumstances that were so convoluted that it's like they required your attention day in and day out consistently. So you were building up your resiliency, yes. But I feel here you were also in some ways building up a wall that didn't allow the, what is it called? The path of least resistance for you to see it. Now I feel like with the Fool energy here, you're able to see the path of least resistance that still gets you to where you want to be even quicker. Okay. Let's do final messages here, because I feel like this is enough information for me to share about this. Thank you all for joining me. May I have final messages, please, on what you would like for me to deliver to the Divine Collective on this day? To the original Earth Angels, thank you. Five of Swords, I saw that and it hit the ground. Okay, we have the Hermit. The Hermit to the Ten of Cups. Look at the journey that you're on now. To be honest, like this is really seeming like within 1 year, you could like be the head of a household, so to speak. You could have a family within 1 year. It's like you're taking this journey now of going from this lone wolf, the hermit energy, to now joining community. Yeah, Three of Coins, definitely community. Like-minded people where you get along, right? And I even feel here it's like maybe there was something or some project you wanted to work on and it was kind of solo dolo, but now you're going to be working with other groups of people who share similar values, who share similar ethics. Collaborative. We have High Priestess in the reversed, to the Page of Coins in the reversed. You really had to dig deep within yourself in order to find this pathway, but also for you to figure out that this is what you really were looking for. With the High Priestess and Page of Coins reversed, I think you were kind of missing the symbols a little bit. You're missing the coincidences a little bit. Okay, but now you see them. The Hermit here it's interesting. Like, give me a second. Yeah, Nine of Coins. Okay, Nine of Coins, Three of Swords. It's almost like the universe literally had to send birds to you to start communicating with you, to tell you like, hey, I think you should go do this. Hey, I think you should go do that. It's like all of nature had to kind of respond to what your heart was calling you to do. Because it's like you were kind of blissfully ignorant about it. Okay. Yeah. There's still no judgment about it here, though. Yeah, the Chariot, there's no judgment here about it. In some ways, they're showing me it's as though, like, you lived in Central Park. They're bringing me to Central Park in New York. I don't know what that's about. And usually homeless people live in Central Park, so that's not what they're getting at. Maybe just this person that recently went for a walk in Central Park. Not this person that but this emperor, this like King of Pentacles could have recently went for a walk in Central Park. But what they're showing me here, it's almost like you were living in a garden, yes, but there were walls around the garden. And maybe you felt very comfortable because there's an apple tree, there were blueberries, strawberries, a mango tree. And so you're eating all of this like beautiful fruit and you're really feeling yourself and you're talking with the trees and talking with the birds. But there's something here about like, there must be more than that provincial life. Okay. Don't mind the pitchiness there. It's like Beauty and the Beast. You were like, I feel like, but there must be more to life, even though this is nice. I feel like there must be more. And so now you've made space in your mind, and now physically there's space for the more to come into you. And I'm also hearing for you to go out and get it. Yeah. And for this more to come out of the trees, because I feel again, it's like energetically, this emperor was watching you enjoy your state of peace. And he was unsure about whether or not his presence would disturb it. Now he knows that you have peeked over the walls, made eye contact with him, and now he's like, great, now I have permission. Let me come in and say hi. Okay? The Fool. Okay, y'all. I'm going to close out the energy of this reading. I'm going to close this out, and I close the portals that I have been looking within and through, using my abilities. Glory be to the Most High Divine Creator of all things. Thank you, Source. This is such a nurturing, succulent energy, and I just want to give gratitude to it. And we're grateful for the mindset shift and for the realizations that have brought us here. Thank you, Source One, Divine Creator of all things, for protecting us in mind, body, soul, psyche, and spirit in all ways, for protecting our pathways, for protecting our successes, for protecting our brilliance. Thank you, Most High Divine Creator, for also protecting and bringing in our divine counterparts, for those who this message resonates for in their divine union. Glory be to Source One of all things. Ashe. Okay. Yeah, look, they're so funny. They brought out the World card. Okay, so that's the end, and you have been through the timeline shift. Congratulations. So that is all that I have for you on this day. On this day. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Ma, ba, 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 da. Here we go. There it is. All right, y'all. I love this energy that came through. The 3 wands, the 6 of wands, the Knight of Cups. Yeah. Someone's ready. I'm also hearing that someone is ready to give it to you. Okay? It's like they've been holding back, almost like a screeching car that is ready to be like raced around in NASCAR or something. Like the engine has been revving. Someone is revved up and ready to give to you and to give it to you. Okay? All right, I'm going to close this out again. Thank you, Most High Divine, Creator of all things. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking, subscribing, donating, and all the wonderful, beautiful things you all do to support this channel. Love, love, love. I'll see you in the next one, and y'all be good. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. See you.